Hi everyone, it's me, Kelly, again. I've just received some shocking news from GH, and I want to share it with you. I remember when Ethan first arrived on the scene, that charming rogue with secrets in his eyes, and Ava, always the fierce survivor who could light up the screen with a single glance. Their bond has grown into something truly special, built on those heart-stopping moments where they keep saving each other from one danger after another. It feels authentic to me, this kind of partnership forged in fire. And I find myself rooting for them harder than I have for many couples in recent years. What strikes me most is how Ava has become Ethan's rock when a figure from his past suddenly reappears, pushing him into a desperate run. We've seen Ethan in tight spots before, but this time it carries a different weight. Ava steps up without hesitation, offering not just protection, but genuine emotional support. In my view, this dynamic sets them apart from so many other pairings that rely on fleeting passion. Theirs feels layered, tested by real peril. I keep wondering, will this past threat finally force Ethan to confront everything he has buried? The answer seems to be unfolding right before our eyes, and it keeps me coming back episode after episode, eager to see how they navigate the next twist. Of course, the biggest bombshell so far is Ethan's revelation that he is Phoebe's biological father. That one moment changed everything for me as a viewer. It opens up an entirely new chapter, one filled with questions of legacy, responsibility, and second chances at family. I have always believed that General Hospital shines brightest when it explores these deep personal truths, and this revelation feels like a masterstroke. Ethan carrying that secret for so long speaks to his character protective yet flawed in ways that make him relatable. And Ava's reaction? It humanizes her even more. She has walked through so much loss and reinvention. Learning this about Ethan could either break them or bind them closer. I personally think it will do the latter, because their story already proves that they thrive when facing the impossible together. Then there is the matter of Ethan turning to Ava for help with his mounting troubles, including that bold move of breaking into the PCPD and destroying critical documents. Now, some longtime fans might see this as risky territory, but I disagree. It highlights Ethan's resourcefulness and his willingness to cross lines for those he cares about. Ava, with her sharp mind and connections, is perfectly positioned to help untangle this web. Their collaboration here feels electric, like watching two formidable forces align. I love how the show is letting us see Ava not just as a survivor, but as a true partner in every sense. It raises an interesting point. In Port Charles, where rules are often bent or broken, who decides what justice really looks like? Ethan and Ava seem ready to write their own definition, and I am here for every minute of it. What truly captivates me is the emerging obsession around their decision to become guardians for Phoebe. This choice carries such emotional depth, especially with Ava's longing to embrace motherhood in a meaningful way. After everything she has endured, seeing her eyes light up at the possibility of building a family with Ethan and Phoebe touches something profound in me. It is not just about legal guardianship. It is about healing old wounds and creating something lasting. I have pondered whether this path will bring them peace or invite even more chaos, but based on the momentum of recent episodes, I believe it is steering them towards strength. Their bond is evolving into something powerful, a new force in Port Charles that could reshape alliances and rivalries alike. As they step into this role, Ethan and Ava are clearly positioning themselves as a formidable power couple. I have seen many such pairings over the years. Some burn bright and fade, others endure. This one feels different because it is rooted in mutual respect and shared battles. Ethan is crafting a new kind of influence, one that blends his street smarts with Ava's sophistication. And together they are adjusting to these fresh shocks in ways that surprise even seasoned viewers like myself. It proves that characters can grow and claim their space without losing what made us love them initially. Their story reminds me why I have stayed loyal to General Hospital through every era. The constant promise of redemption, love, and unexpected turns. One question that keeps circling in my mind is how this guardianship will affect the larger canvas of Port Charles. Will old enemies see this new family unit as a vulnerability to exploit, or will it inspire others to seek their own fresh starts? The show seems poised to answer that soon, and I cannot wait. The tension is building beautifully, with each episode layering more stakes. Ava's desire for motherhood feels so real and earned after her journey, and pairing it with Ethan's fatherhood revelation creates a narrative rich with hope. I find myself smiling at the thought of them facing the future side by side, proving that love and family can emerge stronger from the darkest moments. Looking back, their repeated rescues of one another have been more than action sequences. They have been the foundation of trust. When Ethan was cornered by that ghost from his history, Ava's unwavering support showed her true colors. She has always been a woman of resilience, but with Ethan, she seems lighter somehow, more open to joy. This is the kind of character development that rewards longtime fans. We have watched her navigate loss and betrayal, and now she stands ready to build something beautiful. Ethan, in turn, reveals layers of vulnerability that make his protective instincts toward Phoebe all the more touching. Their path is not without obstacles, yet that is what makes it compelling. The PCPD break-in adds another shade of intensity. Destroying those papers was a desperate act, but in the context of protecting his daughter and their future, it makes sense to me. Ava stepping in to manage the fallout demonstrates her strategic brilliance. I have my own theory that this incident will tie into broader mysteries simmering in town, perhaps drawing in other familiar faces. Whatever comes next, it feels like the writers are honoring the show's tradition of high-stakes drama while giving us emotional payoffs. As someone who has cheered for underdogs and complicated heroes for years, I appreciate how Ethan and Ava challenge each other to be better without losing their edges. Becoming Phoebe's guardians marks a turning point that could redefine their lives. Ava's yearning to be a mother resonates deeply with me. It is a beautiful evolution for her character. Imagine the tender scenes ahead, the quiet moments of family life interspersed with the ever-present dangers of Port Charles. It creates a perfect balance that keeps the story engaging. Ethan creating this new power structure around them speaks to his growth. No longer just drifting through schemes, he is building something permanent. Their union as a power couple feels fresh and exciting, a blend of passion and purpose that Port Charles desperately needs. I often ask myself during these episodes, can two people with such complicated pasts truly forge a stable future? The evidence so far says yes, and it fills me with optimism. Their mutual rescues have proven their commitment, the fatherhood revelation has added depth, and the guardianship decision promises heartwarming developments. The show is delivering on its promise to keep us invested, and I am grateful for it. Each new shock they face only strengthens their resolve, making me eager for what lies ahead. Will they solidify their influence while raising Phoebe, or will external forces test them further? The answers are coming, and they promise to be unforgettable. What truly raises the stakes is the brewing conflict between Ava and Brook, with Chase drawn right into the middle. The battle over Phoebe's guardianship rights promises to be intense yet deeply human. Ava and Ethan stepping up as guardians is already reshaping their lives, but now Brook finds herself facing shocking new realities that could strip away the rights and stability she has held. I have always admired Brooklyn's strength and her own complicated journey through family and love, so watching her receive these blows adds real tension without diminishing her character. It proves how interconnected lives in Port Charles truly are. One family's gain can shake another's foundation, and the writers are handling this with the kind of care that keeps us invested rather than frustrated. I personally believe this custody struggle will highlight different sides of motherhood and protection. Ava's longing to nurture Phoebe feels earned and sincere, especially after her past losses. She and Ethan have already saved each other repeatedly, building a foundation strong enough to weather this storm. On the other side, Brooklyn's shock at potentially losing her established rights creates compelling drama. Will she fight with everything she has? Perhaps turning to Chase for support in ways that test their own relationship? These questions swirl in my mind with every episode, building that delicious anticipation I have come to cherish over the years. The show excels at making us care about all parties involved, and this storyline does exactly that. As Ava moves closer to this new chapter of motherhood, it becomes clear that her partnership with Ethan is evolving into something truly powerful. They are not just surviving threats anymore, they are actively building a future. The guardianship decision carries emotional weight that goes beyond legal papers. It speaks to healing, second chances, and the kind of love that chooses family every single day. I find myself smiling at the thought of tender moments ahead, even as dangers from Ethan's past and the PCPD fallout continue to loom. Their story reminds me why I remain so loyal to General Hospital. It balances high-stakes action with quiet, heartfelt growth. Of course, Brook Lynn's unfolding shocks add necessary friction. No one in Port Charles stays untouched by change, and her potential loss of rights feels like a natural progression that could lead to powerful character development. Will this push her and Chase closer together, or will it expose cracks we have not yet seen? I have my theories, but I trust the show to surprise me in the best ways. What I appreciate most is how the narrative avoids simple heroes and villains. Everyone has valid feelings and complicated motivations, making the upcoming battles feel authentic and worth watching. This obsession with Ava's renewed path to motherhood and the clash over Phoebe keeps the story pulsing with energy. It raises fascinating questions about what makes a true parent: blood, love, history, or the willingness to fight. Ava and Ethan seem ready to prove their answer, while Brook Lynn faces the painful possibility of everything shifting beneath her feet. The tension is mounting beautifully, promising scenes filled with emotion, strategy, and perhaps even unexpected alliances. I cannot help but feel excited for what comes next, knowing that each episode will deliver another piece of this intricate puzzle.